Zzyzx, Zzyzx.
Come on out here and enjoy our wonderful hot mineral water baths.
Would people just come lay down in these troughs?
Have a hot time in Zzyzx tonight at 7:30 with Hugh.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're at the Riverside National Cemetery, and if you've seen my video, or maybe you haven't, just a couple of days ago, I was out at Zzyzx Road to see Curtis House Springer's, well, his retreat, his mineral springs, his TV or radio evangelist place. A lot of stuff about Curtis House Springer. The interesting thing was, I was wondering, where was this guy buried after all that time? Well, he died in Las Vegas. We'll get into that too. But he's actually buried here at the Riverside National Cemetery. This place is huge. I'm gonna go find Curtis House Springer, talk a little bit more about him. He's a very, very interesting guy. And pay my final respects to the man that created Zzyzx. Check that out. Whoa, there goes an Osprey taking off from March Air Force Base. Those things are so cool. He started lifting up with his propellers. And there he goes, and then he moves them forward. But anyways, here we are. Well, we've made it to a fork in the road. This place is massive. If you've never been to a national cemetery, they are, lock the car real quick. We're going on foot by now. Just huge. And I mean, this place has been here for a while, so this should be interesting. I'll show you what we're dealing with. This area right here, I believe I am in the correct area. I just need to hoof it from here and find Curtis. Jump across this, see where we're going, and I'll get back with you guys in a second. Now, I'm sure happy that one of the guards around here helped me find this, because I would have never found this on my own. So, section 14, number 497, and what he told me was each grave is marked with a number up in the top right, which I haven't seen that before. So we're looking for 14497. Where is it? Look at this. Holy smokes, here we go. He's right here. Curtis H. Springer, Curtis House Springer, Private U.S. Army, World War I, born December 2nd, 1896, passed away August 19, 1985. Helen Springer, together with our Lord. Dang, that is so interesting. Yeah, he passed away in Las Vegas. Rest in peace, Curtis. We found you. From Zzyzx to Riverside. Now, Curtis was a I can't even speak. He was a self-proclaimed medical doctor and Methodist minister, but Curtis was pretty interesting. You know, he started Zzyzx, but he also went through Chicago, Pennsylvania, a lot of get-rich-quick schemes, as people would say. He was the equivalent to a snake oil salesman. He always had these ideas, but he would sell these elixirs and different things for health, which would usually just be different, like, juices from what I read. He was also a host of a well-known radio show, and he tried to get on, like, NPR at the time, but they wouldn't let him. But he...
Way out here in the heart of the great Mojave Desert of California, where we have 12,000 acres, devoted to teaching folks how to get a greater joy out of life.
Zzyzx, the reason why it got caught on from him doing a false mining claim and then building what he was, all this area out there, he would have people work for free, and then he would feed them, and then he would let them stay wherever, is what he was doing, which is all good and fine. But the problem was, he decided he wanted to have people start building houses, and they would pay him. And when he started doing that, that's when the federal government kind of looked into him and said, no, we're going to take that land back from you. So that's where a whole lot changed, and the marshals came in and removed him from being out there. So it's just really weird to me. You know, you never know. With doing these videos and stuff, some of them, I just get a bright idea to go to these places. Some of them aren't so bright, but they have these weird connections of just like I would have had no idea that Curtis was buried here in Riverside. So 19 miles away from me, it said on my phone. I was like, that's strange, just by looking him up. So that was pretty
We
cool.
want you to come out here when you can and enjoy this beautiful 12,000-acre oasis. As a contribution as you care to Curtis Springer, Post Office Box number 2, Baker, California. Be listening at the same time 7 days a week for more facts about life and how to live it. So until the same time tomorrow, we'll say bye-bye and God bless you all.
So Springer's first wife, Mary, she encouraged him to try and do a health spa back in Pennsylvania in 1931. It was called Haven of Rest. And that was in Fort Hill, Pennsylvania. Only 6 years after it opened, he lost that due to not paying taxes. He attempted to open other resorts, and that didn't work either, over in Iowa and in Maryland. In 1944, Springer and his new wife, fiance Helen, filed a mining claim, 12,800 acres in California's Mojave Desert. And that was the beginning of Zzyzx. Dang, now Zzyzx used to be, Canadian geese, Zzyzx used to be an old army base, and it also used to be part of the Tonopah Railroad. So he took a lot of the stuff, a lot of the wood from that railroad, a lot of the copper and other mining supplies to build the area that is now Zzyzx. He would also pick up people from Los Angeles' Skid Row and bring them out to the desert to build for free for him. What a guy, man. That's, hey, got to give him something to do. Springer erected a 60-room hotel, a church, a cross-shaped, which I showed in my last video, a health spa with mineral baths. And then he said these were warm mineral baths, which I let be known in the last video at Zzyzx. The mineral baths were heated with boilers. They weren't warm, but he claimed they were. And his big thing was this tea that he would sell. And his tea was usually celery, carrot, and parsley juices, and it would have goat milk in it. It was called antediluvian tea. That would run you $25. Can you imagine $25? I mean, what would that be to today's price? That is a lot of money for his garbage celery tea that he was selling, but he thought he was helping people. He was the true king of quacks.
We fed a little over 750,000 free meals and over 250,000 free beds. We let out to people to help them. We never took a penny from the county or the state or the federal government. My wife and I financed the whole project ourselves. And didn't leave it with a bill on his hands.
Where did you get the money to finance that?
Well, that's none of your business.
One more thing about Curtis and his elixir or his tea. It was said that it would cure everything from sore toes to cancer. And he was represented in court by criminal attorney Gladys Tolles Root. In the trial, Springer was convicted of false advertising. He filed several appeals on his conviction. 2 years later, ended up serving 49 days of a 60-day sentence in federal prison. Well, we're going to head out of this area. But rest in peace, Curtis Springer. Zzyzx Road is all because of you, and all these people know it to this day. But a lot of people probably don't know you're buried here in Riverside. Rest in peace.
I'm with you 1,000,000%. God bless you. Thanks for the opportunity, Doctor.
So from Zzyzx, Curtis's radio show reached over 221 U.S. destinations or broadcasting in the U.S. alone, 102 worldwide. While he was doing that and putting his mineral spa together for anybody to come out, as he said, just pay a donation if you can. If you can't, that's fine too. He also was building an airport out there called Zyport, which goes with Zzyzx, of course, and just trying to live his best life, and just caught up with him. He was always trying to, throughout his life, get ahead or get an angle on something. Well, from here on, he's remembered for that road that you pass on your way to Vegas or on your way back to LA. If you have any questions about Curtis, or if you know something about him, or remember Zzyzx, somebody wrote me in my last video about Zzyzx how he used to pull his truck off there back in the day when the college wasn't really happening out there, and he would hang out and just take his off time there, sleep, and then wake up and see all the wild animals, and just thought it was really cool. I started going down that road years ago, but I didn't know how far I was going to go, and I didn't want to, one, my car break down, 2, be murdered, and 3, I had no idea where I was going. I just didn't know. So I'm glad I finally went down Zzyzx. And with that being said, I appreciate you watching as always. Like this video if you like this video. Please consider subscribing and leave a message. See you next time.
You see, we have all the money we need for the rest of our life. We're not here to try to sell you something. We're here to give you the facts about life and help you if we can. If you write to us and want to come to Zzyzx Mineral Springs and you haven't got a penny in the world, if you send us a letter from your preacher, priest, or rabbi and your doctor, and after investigation we find you need what we have and you can't afford to pay, we'll invite you to come for 1 month absolutely free and thank God for the privilege. So therefore, money isn't important to us. It's more important to be able to tell you the facts about life and how to live it. So we'll mail this bulletin out to this good sister. We'd like to have her show it to her doctor and have him tell her whether or not he believes the things we teach are really basic and helpful. You're listening at the same time 7 days a week for more facts about life and how to live it. So until this same time tomorrow, we'll say bye-bye and God bless you all.